Good evening, good evening, good evening. From the Channel 9 studio, this is Sports Chat with Mr. 33. I am he, Mr. 33. And what a wild night tonight. Sports is popping. We got all of it, activities going on, but we're going to start this night off from the world of wrestling as Friday Night SmackDown came to a very interesting conclusion tonight. But it also started off well. So as it started, we see Jacob Fatu coming in. Then all of a sudden, we see a car hit his car, jump out. Drew McIntyre pulls the windshield off the car, jumps in there, whoops on Jacob. The people come in and stop that situation. Then Jacob is getting up, trying to chase him down. Um, they get to the ring. Drew's in the ring. Jacob comes out there. Uh, Stops whatever he was getting ready to say. Drew, they go at it some more. They fighting throughout. They just fighting all the way through. Security trying to stop him. Nobody stopping it. They just fighting all over the place. So that segment is they just fight all the way through the segment. There will be more fighting to come in this replay or this review rather. Excuse me. Then we went to the World Tag Team Championship at the MFTs. Faced Damian Priest and R-Truth. Uh, the MFTs consisted of Tama Tonga and JT Mateo as the tag champs. And from the beginning, they had their way. They was attacked. They was all over Damian Priest. Damian Priest was he was getting hammered. Uh, like he had no offense. Then as soon as he got the relative hot tag. We see R-Truth come in. He doing things. He gets the match going for in favor of the challengers, and then that slows down. Then all of a sudden we see Uncle Howdy comes in and attacks Solo, and they get distracted. And as soon as they get distracted, we see R-Truth hit a AA on JC Mateo, gets the pin, gets the 3 count, and now we have new tag team champions. Damian Priest and R-Truth defeats the tag champ, and they are now champions. So they let me tell you, I was kind of shocked at it. I think they were shocked at it because if you watched it, they said, "Yo, we did this. We won the belts." like how you just gonna say we won the belts like you ain't know what was going on, you know? But it was a good win. Maybe this will shake up the tag team division as a whole. Maybe we'll get some new skin in the game. But the MFTs, they wasn't really holding they wasn't representing the belts. They just had that little rivalry with the Wyatt Six. So you know, it maybe it was time. Maybe it's some new blood. Maybe but it's interesting to see how Damian Priest and Truth hold how long they hold on to this title. It's just different. It's definitely a shake up. Um, because like I said, nobody expected that. Not at all. You didn't really see that coming. Yes, what we doing? We there in a minute. Remoto, how you doing? Hi, Ezekiel Rodriguez, how you doing? But right now we're just going over what happened tonight on SmackDown. Then we have Fraxium versus the Motor City Machine Guns. That was the next after the title changed hands. We had a more tag team. Um, Both teams started off at a fast pace, and this match, this match was totally different because this is a match where we got high flying luchadors. Dallas Dallas Ultra Spine, what's going on with you? Um, when you have a different luchador match, it's different. You got high flying, jumping off the top ropes, things like that, and both teams did that. Um, Fraxium started off with the match. Uh, then we see the Motor City Machine Guns gain momentum. Then all of a sudden we see somebody coming down to the ring. It's Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae comes through. and gives a little interference to help the Motor City Machine Gun. They capitalize. They get the pin. They get the 3 counts. So the Motor City Machine Guns defeat Fraction with some help from Candice LeRae, which may ask the question: is something going on between them, or is she just being nice because he's helping? He's using, or she using that just to disrupt that tag team. So it's something to look at. Uh, Dan Houser in the background. Dan Houser stole somebody from Candice LeRae while she take care of Johnny Gargano, which is crazy. Dan Houser is a trip and all of that. So that's what happened. Then we have Randy Orton speaking at in the center of the ring, talking about he hearing voices in his head. The things that he was doing, signing autographs and stuff like that, was mad fake. He felt he was faking it. He was happy-less. He was doing all of this, and then he just left the ring because he hear voices in his head. Um, so that was pretty much that segment. Then we had Aleister Black versus Sami Zayn. As soon as Sami Zayn comes out, we hear whoop that trick, whoop that trick. So we know Trick Williams was in the building. He comes down and sits at the announce table just to watch the match. And we see Aleister Black, you know, gets the early advantage because Sammy was distracted by Trick. Sammy works his way back into the match until Sammy gets thrown out the ring. Out the ring, he gets thrown out the ring by the announce table where um appreciate you, but as Sammy is looking at going back into the ring to try to beat the count out, he just attacks Trick. Trick was surprised. He attacked him. He attacked him, and as soon as Sammy gets in the ring, he gets not super kick, but he gets the the, the, the finisher, the back kick, and Sammy went down. Aleister Black, he pins him, gets the 3 count, and defeats Sami Zayn. Uh, then after that, after we see that match, appreciate you. This one. We go in the back. We see Randy Orton talking to Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona was trying to talk to him like, you better than this, that, and the third. Randy popped him real quick, told him mind his business, stay out of his business, and left him laying on the floor, on the ground. Uh, then we had something interesting happen. We had Jade come down to the ring to talk about her match with Rhea Ripley. Then Rhea comes out. They have a conversation. She like, y'all, Rhea's like, I'm tired of talking. Let's just go ahead and have this thing. You too, you too. Appreciate you coming through, Dallas Salter Spine. Appreciate you. Shout out to you. Hope you have a good night and a good weekend. Um, so as Rhea talking about she ready to fight. Jade like, nah, not on my time. I mean, you on my time. You on my time. So as she's walking back, we see Michin and B-Fab come down with a Kindle. Michin had the Kindle stick. And then they point at Jade like, yo, get yourself back in the ring. So Jade backing up. Rhea's waving high. Jade turns around. And Michin and B-Fab, they stopped with her. Or stopped right beside her. So Rhea looked like, oh man, I'm in trouble. So they surround the ring. Uh, B-Fab gets kicked by Rhea, but Michin hits her with the kendo stick. They punish her, and Jade hit the her finisher, Jaded, and now it looks like we have a new alliance going forming. And that's, if you was watching SmackDown last week, you saw Jade talking to B-Fab after defeating Michin last week, and maybe that's what they was talking about. So, it was crazy, but it seemed to be a new alliance going on. And then backstage, Miz was he was cursed by Danhausen, and then that ladder fell next to Kit Wilson, and Miz didn't think none of it. And as soon as Kit Wilson leaves, as he's talking about he want to see Jelly Roll, another ladder falls on Miz's head. So that was, Miz is still cursed pretty much. Then we had a great match: Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov for the U.S. title. Finally, after all of these weeks, Dragunov took the challenge. Well, this wasn't taking the challenge. The open challenge was closed. I think he was handed the challenger role by Nick Aldis. But anyway, the fight goes on. Uh, Dragunov starts off hot. Uh, Melo comes through. He starts get firing back. They start hitting excellent moves. Dragunov hits his finisher. Melo pops up. Melo tries to hit first 48. He gets caught. He pops out of a pin. Uh, Melo does hit first 48. He gets Dragunov pops out. So this was a back and forth match. And this was by far the best match of the night. So after doing all that, Dragunov has gained the advantage. He tries to hit Melo with a power bomb. Melo slides out the back door, and he rolls him up, gets the pin, gets the 3 count, defends and gets the victory. So Melo defeats Dragunov and maintains his U.S. belt. This was a great match. This was a match full of, uh, reversal of their finishers and things like that. And Melo escaped a couple of counts. Matter of fact, Melo escaped one of the counts by putting his foot on the ropes at 2 3/4. Referee caught it, said, "Yo, you got to break the count. Let's break the count." And that's how the match continued to go. But this was a great win for Melo. So Melo retains his belt. In the background, we still got Jacob and Drew fighting all over the place. Uh, it was like I said, they was going crazy. They was just fighting and fighting and fighting. Uh, then we had Kit Wilson call out Jelly Roll. He talking about he want to rap or something like that. Kit reads a poem. Uh, Jelly Roll looked confused. That's not rapping. Uh, he was telling bomb jokes. And then he attacks Jelly Roller. Jelly Roller gets attacked by Kit Wilson after all of the confusion and left him in the ring. Uh, it was just a moment. So then we see later on, Jelly Roll like I want to fight Kit Wilson. That match was confirmed for next week. That's what it is. So Kit Wilson next week will be fighting Jelly Roll. Uh, as part of the SmackDown uh, card for next week. Then we had the Tag Team Championship on the line of the Irresistible Forces, which is Lash Legend and Nia Jax versus the Bellas. Uh, First time we see the Bella Twins in a tag team title match in a long time. I don't know if many people has been watching it for that long period of time, but we had a back and forth situation. The Bellas was taking advantage of Nia being over aggressive and missing her clotheslines, and they was doing a lot of double teaming. Uh, Last Legend comes in and blocks a couple of them, try to take control. Then as that happens, the Bellas take control. We got uh Charlotte and Miss Bliss come down to the ring to watch the match. They distract the Bella Twins. Uh, then as they get out to the ring, outside of the ring, the match fights outside of the ring. Uh, we had Nia was going to hit one of the Bella Twins with the belt. Charlotte grabbed her and started whooping on her. The referee rings the bell, uh, ending the match. But the fight goes into the ring as the Bellas come out there like, why are you distracted? Why are you stopping the match? Then they start pushing Charlotte and Miss Bliss. They get in the ring, start fighting. Nia and Lash comes in and squashes both of them. Uh, Lash has a huge bear hug on her, drops her, the squats, and then Nia comes off the rope and hits Charlotte with a leg drop. So that's how that match ends, which leads now to a number one contenders match between the Bella Twins and Charlotte and Miss Bliss next Friday as well. Then we have Randy calling out Matt Cardona, saying he's going to apologize, and he just punished him. He just started beating that man to death. Took him outside. He RKO'd him, then rolled him outside, put him on the table, whooped him through the table. The security tries to stop it. Then we have Randy roll back in the ring, puts a chair around his wrist. The security stops it. They get out the way, and Randy stomps it, slides out the ring, and then leaves. Then as Randy is leaving, we see Jacob and Drew McIntyre fighting outside on top of it's like a patio, not a patio, but one of those, like a little water tower. So as they fight on the water tower, they get on the other side of the railing. They headbutt each other, trying to make each other fall. Then they both fall off the railing, and that's how the show ends. So we got a lot going on. Realist, what's going on with you? So we got a lot going on as far as that match between Jacob and Drew McIntyre, which will probably lead to a SummerSlam match. So for my day one that just came through, I'm gonna just rehash everything real quick. We started the show off with Drew hitting Jacob car. They start fighting outside. Drew rips the windshield out, comes through. They fighting throughout the entire show. Uh, we see the MFTs. They lost the belt, so we got new tag team champions. Damian Priest and R-Truth is now the tag team champions. They defeated the MFTs because of a distraction from Uncle Howdy. Trying to, he gets at Solo. The MFTs get distracted. Uh, R-Truth hits the AA, gets the pin. Now we got new champions. What else happened tonight? Uh, we see a new faction form, Aurelius, as your boot thing, Meechin and B-Fab. They was approaching Jade as she was leaving the ring with Rhea Ripley, but Meechin had a kendo stick, and they was forcing Jade back to the ring. But then they ended up aligning with Jade, and they go in there and whoop on Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley gets jaded by Jade, and yeah, it is. And then that's the new faction. What else happened? Great match between Mello and Dragunov. They was hitting each other's finishers. They was coming out of it. Mello was putting his feet on, Mello was saving himself by putting his feet on the rope, getting pinned by the rope. And then at the end, Mello did a roll up and got the pinfall to retain his title. Uh, we had a little funny match between Fraxium and the Motor City Machine Guns. Motor City Machine Guns win their match because Candice LeRae came and helped the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm trying to figure out, is this because she trying to break the group up, or is it because the one of the dudes was helping Johnny Gargano? But we'll figure that out coming down the road. The women's tag match was was a no contest as Nia tried to hit one of the Bella twins with the belt. Charlotte got in the way, beat up on Nia, and then the Bella twins got mad and started fighting Charlotte and Miss Bliss, and then Nia and Lash, they pointed Charlotte. Charlotte, Nia had her in the bear hug, made her look like the rag doll, squatted, and Nia hit her with the leg drop. So now we got a number one contenders match next week for the tag titles, and it's between the Bellas and Charlotte and Miss Bliss. Randy Orton, he running around slapping people. He beat up on he slapped Matt Cardona in the back. He told he apologized to Jelly Roll, and then he'll try to apologize. He said he's going to apologize to Matt Cardona again, and then he just went ham and just he beat the hell out of Matt Cardona. He RKO'd him. He threw him on the table, on the announce table, whooped him out there. Put a chair on his wrist, stepped on the chair, tried to snap his wrist, and as he's leaving that, before that, Solo gets mad because the MFTs lost the belt. Tom was like, "Yo, you starting to sound like Roman." He's like, "Yo, what you say to me?" And they was getting ready to get into it, but Jacob and Drew was fighting all over the stadium. They run right past them fighting, and he said, "I'm sick of Jelly Roll." So they's fighting, and then MFT disappears. So now we're gonna have some dysfunction with the MFTs because they thinking he's starting to sound like Roman Reigns. Well, that's what Thomas says. So look, be on the lookout. And like I said, after they go through that segment, in the middle of that segment, we see Drew and them fighting. You see Drew getting rammed into the gate and all this other stuff. And then after, like I said, after Randy beat up Matt Cardona in the ring, he we see Jacob and them fighting outside on like I don't know what that is. It looked like it looked like a patio with the water tower things, but this was squared, and then they both fall off the railing, and that's how the show ended. So yeah, I think that's what it is. Real, this is gonna be Drew and Jacob at WrestleMania. Um, that's gonna be a interesting match. Well, it's going. I think they're gonna have a no hold bar. They might have a street fight match. They might have tables, ladders. I don't. I mean, I've never seen a single table ladders and chairs, but that'd probably be a no holds bar match, because they couldn't contain them at all. They were just wilding all night, fighting in segments, fighting through segments. Oh, and Sami Zayn had a match against Aleister Black. Trick Williams came out. Sami Zayn started whooping on Trick, and then he gets in the ring. Aleister Black hits his finishing move, and he defeats Aleister Black, Sami Zayn. But it was a light night as far as any new announcements or anything like that for WrestleMania, which is kind of confusing because we're getting closer now. We are literally, tomorrow is a month away. So, still tomorrow because it's only 11:56. So they're a month away, and nothing is happening. So it's like, the latest match that we find out about is the Oba and McIntyre, uh Oba and oh my God, what the hell is this dude's name? Brock Lesnar match. My 33 brother, what up though? My co-host is in the building. Um, Shout out to the people in the bushes. But yeah, we just we're not getting the name matches, or we're not getting anything or any familiarity as far as matches going on yet. Like I said, this it's more like they building up for the regular show instead of WrestleMania. Like I said, we just got two matches already for next week. We got a Jelly Roll versus Kit Wilson match, and then we got the number one contenders match for the tag team championship, for the women's tag team championship. The Bellas versus Charlotte and Miss Bliss. So that's the way this thing is looking so far. I don't. I didn't hear anything as far as Raw. I would have to wait till Sunday to get any type of information. When I get that information, we'll have that on the Sunday NBA recap segment because, like I said, I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to get it. Jelly, he told Jelly Roll to go sit down. He'll leave it. Yeah, but the shocker of the night for me, well, it's not really a shock because, like I said, if you was watching SmackDown last week, appreciate you, whatever you was talking about. But you, if we remember last week, we saw Jade talking to B Fab last week. And so we were trying to figure out what she was talking about, but we also remember how she did Mi Chin in that match. So for them to come out and join a line, make that little faction in the middle of the show, it was shocking, but it was I didn't think Mi Chin would join the crew because she just got hammered by Jade. So I don't know if they trying to say if you can't beat them, join them situation, but I don't. I didn't see that coming. Um, and then we also found out this week on tonight that Julia is gonna fight Tiffany Stratton for the U.S. belt next week. So we already know about 3 matches already for next week. Uh, your boy Randy said your boy Randy's hearing voices in his head. He was wording the song, but he really saying he hearing voices in his head. Then he answered a phone call, uh, talking about he gonna apologize to Matt Cardona. I feel well, Matt Cardona won't be seen for a while. He just got back and he on his way out the door because Randy tried to break his wrist. Uh, so yeah, that was pretty much the gist of the entire show on SmackDown tonight, and I was just like, damn, I don't, I mean, uh, like I said, the best match was Mello versus Dragunov to me. Uh, the tag match was good to me for me too, but I'm just tired of it's the tag team not the tag title match but the Fraxium and Motor City Machine Gun. The action was good. I just don't like the way it ended. Yeah, he no, he talking to he hear voices in his head. He hear fake phones and ring. But this Randy Orton. I don't know. I don't know how long you guys been watching, right? But this Randy, it seemed like when he was kicking the hell out of Vince McMahon head, he punted Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon and gonna punt Stephanie. This is that version, but he just going straight ham. He ain't punt nobody. He really trying to take people out for real. Cody looked crazy last week. Uh, Now we got Matt Cardona looking like he going beside himself. Like Matt Cardona ain't coming back. You won't see Matt Cardona until about WrestleMania. So don't be shocked if you don't hear about Matt. Matter of fact, what's gonna happen is Apollo. I think what's gonna happen is Apollo Crews gonna try to redeem that, and they gonna tear Apollo Crews ass up, and he ain't gonna see Apollo Crews either for the next 2 months or something like that. You might see him make an appearance with a brace on his arm or something like that. Uh, it's it was it's it I, this is the Randy that a lot of people was craving for, clamoring for. We thought this would be a Cody situation, like Cody would act this way, but I guess they said nah. We like Randy with the voices and things like that. I don't know if this gives him the advantage of winning the belt, but this makes Randy a very, very, very dangerous opponent for Cody Rhodes, who's already been damaged, which means he'll probably won't come back till the SmackDown, either the SmackDown the day before Mania or the SmackDown the Friday before that, 2 Fridays away, or the Friday of WrestleMania. It's you know it's gonna look different. So you know we just know Randy's getting ready to have a field day. Randy ain't gonna wrestle nobody. Uh, and then it's also looking like Sammy's gonna fight Trick Williams in WrestleMania to give Trick a WrestleMania moment, which is kind of cool. That allows him to get a victory if Trick does get the victory, and start his WrestleMania momentum. So as you can see, the only young person that hasn't gotten a match in WrestleMania, I believe, yet is Javon Evans. Um, but maybe we'll see something about that in Raw. On Raw, maybe he'll have a tag team match against the New Day or something like that, or maybe he'll fight Cole. I don't know, but I think they'll try to do something for Javon Evans as well. We see it. We already know that Ober's gonna fight Brock, and now I think it's not official, y'all. Don't quote me on it. I just feel like that match is gonna happen because that's what it's leading to. That's the storyline of SmackDown. You got that storyline of SmackDown. You got the Jacob and Drew McIntyre situation, and of course you got the World Championship situation. But also congratulations to R-Truth and Priest for winning the tag titles tonight. This, like I said, this SmackDown was something else. It was something different. Yeah, I see they was tearing it up, but they ain't. I guess Randy needs some victims to make himself look dangerous again. After he took out Cody, like he's not gonna go after. Like you see, Sammy staying away from him. Remember, Sammy approached him, but he ain't approaching his ass no more. He see he see what he doing. He saw what he did to Cody, and it was like, nah, I'm straight. I ain't gonna holler at you, dog. Um, it's just something that he needs to do. Brock, Randy, Cena. Well, Brock is always gonna be an in betweener because some people love him, some people hate him. Um, Randy, I don't. That's a hard one because even that in his heel turn, somebody's gonna like somebody's gonna love him. You see how much you love him. Now imagine like a few thousand people love him at the main event of WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? So they just got him looking like a heel, but people still gonna cheer for him, even though he tried to say, I've been doing all this fake stuff and signing autographs and looking stupid and feeling void and emptyless and all that. Uh, Maybe he does get the belt. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe so. He trying to get. I don't think they'll let him get to 17, or maybe he won't leave till he get to 17. But he can't say he. It's gonna be hard to really. It's gonna be hard for him to really get there. Bro, be bending over backwards for that. Yeah, he's been doing it for over 20 years. So I'm interested to see if he's like Word said. Is he really talking to somebody on that phone, or is he pump faking? You know what I mean? Like what's going on? Maybe they'll come out. Maybe they'll come out soon. Maybe at WrestleMania. It don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They cheer for him. If you ain't hear the people, they like do it again, one more time. Like y'all, wow, y'all wilding. Y'all talking about one more time, one more time. Y'all straight tripping, man. He said R-Truth must be about to retire. Unlikely tag team winning belts. It's a setup for retirement. I just think it was time for the MFT. They didn't. There's no excitement. Listen, there's no excitement in the tag team division over there. At least for the females, they can go from one show to the next, right? So it's only one tag team title for the women, so they could go from here to there. They could go from SmackDown to Raw, like they said on the promo. We got the Kabuki Warriors over there. We got Bailey and Lyra over there, and we got these two over here. So they can run back and forth. But the MFTs, they only worry about a damn. Solo's only worried about a lantern. He's not trying to He's not trying to win no belts. If that's the case, he should have let Tama Tonga go ahead. I think Tama Tonga get ready to win the U.S. belt. To be honest with you, I see him focus on that belt. So he might go ahead and try to win that belt. But I think they get ready to break up anyway. And it was an interesting way to seg. It was an interesting way to segue to Jacob as They get ready like yo, you starting to sound like Roman, and then they segue to Jacob coming through, and then they just disappear like they didn't even help that dude. They like fuck that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's a lot. He said, is this the point I put up there? No. He said he ain't winning 17. He gonna get 15. Cena got that. Listen, I listen. The only way he gets to 17, man. If it they get ready to do some legacy. They might do a legacy thing again with Randy. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who else is coming over there because he did say it's more than one royal family, and I'm like, he ain't talking about the Samoans. He just talking about royal family like the Ortons, and stuff like that. So maybe he got somebody on the wings come. Well, he got somebody on in the background coming up. I just don't know who. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm trying to I thought it was gonna be Ted DiBiase Jr. Even though I just found out he beat all of his charges. He was having legal troubles out there. I don't think it's him though. You know what I mean? I don't think it's him at all. Uh, so we just waiting in the background to see who's gonna come out of that. Pure nostalgia with a lot of these guys. Yeah, Randy been there forever, man. I know Randy was there before. Yeah, he was there before Cena. So you know, his legacy is cemented. Like I don't, because even if you think about if Randy gets to 17, what was his most momentous title run? You know what I mean? Who did does anybody really remember his title run? Does anybody really remember, you know, the first time he won or the last time he won or in between? Like we don't really talk about Randy Orton's title reigns. It's very, we just know he won a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? I know he had battles with Batista. I remember all of that. John Cena. Like all of that is memorable. As far as we don't really remember the in betweens, right? Like if they unless they do what they did with even with John Cena's last title run, it was memorable because you're like, yo, wait a minute, man. He beat Cody at Mania, and then he went crazy after that. Like he said, "Fuck the fans." This, that, and the third. It do look like a John Cena turn, but I don't think it'll be as memorable. Well, he's trying to make it memorable because he's taking people out right now. So if this is the way he going into that into the title run, then that's what's up. Uh, ain't none of them help. I was waiting for one. Yeah, that's what I said. They just ran by him. Like they just like they just ran by him. Like yo, what the? I'm like yo, y'all so corny. But I think they're gonna link up. I do. I really do. I just don't know. Like they wasted themselves. I forgot about the phone call. Yeah, he was over. Word said he was talking to himself though. Yeah, I was. You think so? That would be a crazy. Listen, Bob Orton might come through, but what Word saying will be super crazy. Like Goldust is gonna come through, and I think Goldust will pop up for Randy. Goldust will probably pop up for his brother, just as if that does happen. Like, wait a minute, you see gold, you see gold stuff flying out the air, stuff like that. That's a good call right there. But I think it's gonna go for Cody. I can see that happening for Cody as well. Goldust making that appearance. Man, put some respect to him. Now, listen, man. Nah, it's not. It's not a disrespect to the Viper. Like his like I'm saying, his legacy is cemented. Like he was Seth before Seth. That's the best way to put it, right? Even after he left the group with Triple H and Batista, he made the Legacy group. That's how you remember Cody Rhodes. You remember Cody Rhodes from the Legacy group. Even though Ted DiBiase Jr. wasn't what he was going to be, you remember Cody Rhodes from that group. And Cody Rhodes really got his start from there. He didn't really get his start with his brother when he was Stardust. Was it Stardust? Yeah, Stardust. He got his start from there, but we remember Legacy out there tearing people up, putting the blows to Edge and John Cena and people like that. We remember that. We don't. We remember the stint of Stardust, but we remember the Legacy really holding Randy down. You know what I mean? So that's what we remember. That's the name of the group. Real Evolution. He left Evolution. Yeah, because he was the young arrogant dude on Evolution, and then it's and like I said, once he got to the Legacy group, he was calling the shots. It was a bunch of young kids, you know, raising havoc in WWE. Yeah, a lot of people forgot they was brothers. That's what I'm saying. Cody's been there, Phil. He's been in and out of that business for a while, the WWE itself. So, the fact that, you start to forget some things and be like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. they had Cody acting like a fool, acting like his brother, and then, that's what I'm saying, the Runnels, that's the Rhodes, I'll say the Rhodes, because people may not remember their name as Runnels. But the Rhodes, they've been a part of they've been there forever. Goldust just retired. Goldust just retired. I was gonna say Dustin Runnels, but y'all may remember him as Goldust. He just retired maybe a couple of years ago. We got to remember he was fighting Stone Cold back in '92 in WCW. Now think about what I just said. He was fighting Stone Cold. Well, he was fighting Stunning Steve Austin in 1992. That's 30 years ago. That's what I'm saying. Some of these people, they've been doing this for a long time, and like I said, the OGs now is really Randy, and you could say Cody, because Cody was there before the Miz. But the oldest OG that I know of for sure, is Rey Mysterio, because Rey Mysterio was doing all that fighting back then in the '90s as well. You know what I mean? So it's a few of them, and then you got Brock in the early 2000s. But I'm talking about, like, because all of those guys came around the same time. Brock, Shelton Benjamin, Batista, all those dudes, they came around the same time. So it's a different atmosphere for them. It's a different, you know what I mean? It's different timing for them, because they was there for the millennium. So it's something different. But I was just talking about, like, when you sit, I'm telling y'all see how Dom was. That was Rey Mysterio 33 years ago, 34 years ago, some crazy stuff like that. He was doing this for a while. So, I mean, R-Truth was doing it on the Indies. I didn't really know about R-Truth till like later on, like TNA and things like that. But I'm telling y'all, it's some of them that's been doing this for the longest period of time. Um, Oba, y'all think Oba is the right pick for Brock? They have to have somebody. It was you said his name right. It has to like, if we really think that, people are asking this question, right? To answer your question, realist, where the hell is Gunther? Right? They say where's Gunther, but I'm saying, if you put Gunther as a legend killer, there got to be a legend he got to kill. He can't just come back out and just have regular matches. You know what I mean? So he can't fight Brock, because Brock is not retiring. But the way you it's the right fit, because Brock really sold. Like, if you really saw Brock really sold that power bomb. He sold that. You know what I mean? He sold that, and then he made This is what I think. He's when he sold the power bomb and then he put his foot on his chest. That gave Oba the power to say, you know what, I'm in your league. That match that you talking about, though, realist, that may be a SummerSlam match, the Gunther versus Brock. Because if it goes the way I think it does, and Oba beats Brock, I think Brock gonna want to retire, and he gonna have one more match, and then he gonna, and I think that Gunther will fight Brock at SummerSlam to try to retire him to finish him off. That's what I think. That's why I can see that. And if he does that, oh my goodness, that will be the end of the show. You cannot tell Gunther nothing. But he won't. But then he might get back in the regular matches. Then he might get back to a title match with one of those guys. Yeah, they got him sitting in the cut. Because like I said, if he's able to choke out Brock, that'll bring more hatred to his name. They might love him because Brock has a love hate relationship with everybody. So I can see that happening, and and then you know after that, Gunther gets his name back. Brock don't get to come back because there's really no need after that, right? And then after that, who knows? You might see. I'm waiting to see what they do with Powerhouse Hobbs. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. He hasn't been on the scene in a while. Um, But that's going to be interesting to see if they're going to put Powerhouse Royce Keys against Oba soon. If they make them a tag team, y'all can kiss. Listen, I don't give a damn who they fight. They should be number one contenders and winning that belt so quick, like how they did Nia and Lash. I see that if they put those two together, that's what that's going to be until they figure out what they're going to do with like people like Roman, Punk. They waiting to see what happens with Seth, things like that. So it's a lot going on. Yo, they. I haven't seen him since what you call it. I ain't seen him in NXT since the Royal Rumble. I ain't seen him in NXT. I ain't seen him in Triple. I ain't seen him nowhere but that one time over there. I don't know if he's getting himself together. I don't know if they, making him still train. I have no idea. Um, But that is an interesting. Like I said, we seen him at we see him at the Rumble. He lost this disappeared. Gunther had a great. Gunther was Gunther was chilling at the Rumble. He took out AJ and then almost won that match. Uh, but Roman got rid of him, so that's just and then he's been chilling after that. You know what I mean? He just been chilling. Gunther. They group. This group will be BB, Big Black. He said, yeah, but he did make that one impression. So you think that'll be a flashback to the Big E situation. I don't know if everybody remember how Big E got his break. Big E got his break with AJ, and then he started wrestling and then made the move, and then AJ left, and then he got with the New Day, or they made the New Day. Uh, so that's not a far stretch, realist. Especially the way they keep going, it seems like they're going back into like factions now. We thought we were gonna see Judgment Day break up. We just saw Finn get kicked out. I don't even know what they're gonna do with that. You know what I mean? But like I told you on Monday, Raquel needs to figure that out because she ain't getting no type of good luck with them. Cause every time she gets into a title match, she's losing it. I don't care what title it is, Intercontinental belt, Championship belt, Tag Team Champions. She's been on a cold spell for a minute. So I thought they were gonna do that. Yeah, yeah. AJ looked like what the. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The way that they're doing this stuff, just like tonight, right? We saw Candice LeRae help the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm thinking that the dude is getting ready to flip on his Motor City Machine Gun partner and tag up with Johnny Gargano. Like I think that's really gonna happen because Candace is, or wow, I didn't even think they would they do that shit though, or she gonna start feeling the dude that's helping Johnny Gargano because he's trying to help him, and she starts to like who knows where that story's going. I'm just saying it just get ready to be that storyline get ready to be crazy. If that happens, I'm gonna fall out. Y'all might say, how the hell you knew that? I'm just guessing. I'm just telling y'all what it is. But it'll be crazy if that happens though. But you know, it's like I said, the storylines get ready to get interesting. Now we got this new faction with B-Fab and Michin. You know, maybe they think they're gonna jump Rhea, and then somebody comes through to help Rhea. I don't know who. I don't think it'll be Io. I don't know if Bianca. They said Bianca. There's a rumor going around that Bianca's talking. They talking about Bianca might lose a finger after the operation she had and all this so crazy stuff. I don't know how true it is. You know what I mean? But if she is coming back, she need to come back. Or maybe that's why, and maybe that's why we don't see Montez because he's over there being a husband to his wife. You know what I mean? So it's possible. Like it's so many different things that's out there. So many different rumors. It's hard to say if you could confirm them or are they true or not or whatever. It's a lot. You know what I mean? And that's the rumor. They like, yo, she had an operation on her finger, and some people is saying that the operation wasn't as successful as it was. They may have to take a finger and all so crazy. Like that's what I'm saying. It's hard to listen to all the speculation. You listen to it just because you don't want to be out the loop. If it happens to be true, you hope it's not true. You don't want it to be true, but you listen to it just in case if that story gets confirmed. Like Bianca's out because she missing a finger. But I don't know if that to be true or not. Because I think if she loses a finger, she's still gonna be the EST. You know what I mean? You know, I I don't I still think they'll use her for whatever. I don't think she'll ready to hang it up just because of a finger. To be quite honest with you, that's what I'm saying. Some of these guys, I've seen some of these guys come back after broken necks. So a missing finger may not be nothing. Yeah, we hoping all the best for her, but I still think they'll try to find something for her to do. And then we heard that Naomi had the baby. I heard Naomi had the baby already. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's so many different stories. They say Rikishi said, "Yo, Naomi had a son. This is my 16th grandkid." It's like I said. It's so much being spoken. There's so many other wrestling podcasts. We conversate about it. But when you got you got those people like Rikishi and like Stone Cold, those type of podcasts. They're in the business. We are watching the business. We observe the business, but they're in the business. So I don't know whether it's true or not. You know what I mean? So like I said, I listen to the story just to see if it happens or not. You know, hopefully that's not the case. It'll be crazy. I don't know what they'll do. But I tell you this much: if Bianca doesn't come back, they got enough to start another story. I promise you that. If that don't happen, they will make Lash and them lose that belt so fast, and then one of them will start fighting for the belt sooner or later. Maybe if Jade ever lose the belt, or they make one of those, I think they'll make Lash a baby face before they'll make Nia one. So it may be Lash versus Jade. I don't know. You know what I mean? That can happen real quick. You know what I mean? So it's very possible. I don't think that'll happen. Like I said, we all want Bianca to come back. She's missed. They've been setting this up for her the whole entire time, so they want that to happen. Or they may just say, you know what, Naomi, you jump back on SmackDown after you ready to come back, and you fight Naomi, and you get the belt from her, and we make you the baby face on SmackDown, and or whatever. They listen. The women's division is very safe and secure. I believe that, especially on both brands, really, but especially on SmackDown. I think they'll switch that up real quick and make that happen for that reason. Yeah, so that's just the gist of the thing. I think they'll take care of that real quick. But we are hoping for the best for Bianca. Uh, you know, we hate to hear that rumor. I hate that rumor. I really do hate that rumor though. That sounds crazy, but you know, um, it's it's definitely a lot. Uh, it, like I said, I would really hate that. I would really, really, really hate that for them. Uh, what am I doing here? Oh, I'm trying to see the brackets. While I'm talking to y'all, I'm trying to see the brackets for the NCAA tournament, men's bracket. So, but yeah, as far as that situation, I would really hate to see that if that is the case. That she's getting ready. She's gonna lose a finger and all of that. That would really be annoying. It'd be sad for them. But it would explain why her husband ain't been there because he's sitting there. That's a traumatic blow for that family. You know what I mean? So, all right. Anyway, let me get back over here with y'all. Um, yo, that ponytail was tearing people up. That's just that. I don't think that was a ponytail. I swear, I think that was a whip. And you can make that whip sound, but the way that was leaving whelps on people, that I remember when it left a whelp on Becky's stomach. That was crazy. It was like she was branded. I'm like, damn, you got branded by a ponytail? How the hell that happened? So it's definitely crazy that occurred. So like I said, it's definitely different. So you know, let me see if they got updated scores, man. Oh, da 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 da. Y'all bear with me. Da 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 da. But yeah, that was she is missed though. She really is missed. And like I said, they prepared a lot for her. But we just gotta sit back and wait. Just like we gotta wait for Monday. We saw we gotta see what happens now that Roman called this man old, and the man got mad because they called him old, and now he don't know how to control himself. CM Punk. So we're looking forward to see that. Uh, there's a lot of circling going on over here. Let me see something. Let me give y'all some NBA scores real quick while we uh while we finished up that segment. We gonna start in Brooklyn. The Knicks took the train down to Brooklyn to play the Nets. The Knicks get a 93-92 win. With that win, the Knicks go to 46-25. With the loss, Brooklyn goes to 17-53. In Detroit, the Pistons host the Warriors. The Pistons get a 115-101 win. With the win, Detroit goes to 51-19. We're getting very close to clinching their number one spot. Well, they definitely clinched a playoff spot. Congratulations to the Pistons. The Knicks did as well. Congratulations to the Knicks. And congratulations to Boston. They are in the playoffs. Their seeding is not cemented, but they are in the playoffs. With the loss, the Warriors go to 33-37. Speaking of the Celtics, they was in Memphis playing the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies get the loss. The Celtics get the win, get the 117 to 112 win. With that win, the Celtics go to 47-23, and with the loss, the Grizzlies go to 24-45. In Minnesota, the T Wolves host the Blazers. The Blazers get a 108 to 104 win. With the win, the Blazers get to 35 to 36, one game under 500. And with the loss, the T Wolves go to 43 and 28. In Houston, the Rockets hosted the Red Hot Hawks. They was on an 11 game winning streak, and the Rockets get the 117 to 95 win, which stops that winning streak where it's at 11. The Rockets go to 42 and 27. The Hawks go to 38 and 32 with the loss. And finally, in Denver, the Nuggets host the Raptors, and we got a 121 to 115 win for the Nuggets, who go to 42 and 28. Uh, and the Raptors go to 39 and 29. So those are the scores from the NBA. What is maybe we do get a bracket. Yeah. So for the men's games, look final, and we had so tomorrow the first round games. Uh, the the winner of that will play the winner of the St. John Sunday. Uh, the we got Louisville versus Michigan State tomorrow. They will be the winner of that will be waiting on UCLA and UConn. I think UConn is still winning that game. I would have to look at the TV and see myself because it's not updated like that. Oh, it ain't even. Is it on? I don't even know. Nah. Uh, hold on. I think UConn won though. I really do. At 12:35, I think it's over. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say UConn won that. So it'll be UCLA and UConn. In the on the bottom bracket, we see Iowa. Florida will play Iowa, and the winner of that will play Vanderbilt versus Nebraska. Uh, Vanderbilt can win over North Carolina. Will play Illinois, and the winner of that will play Houston. The winner of Houston and Texas A&M, which that bracket will be filled out tomorrow as well. Uh, we got Gonzaga playing Texas. The winner of that will play. They play tomorrow, and they go up against the winner of Purdue versus Miami of Florida. Michigan plays tomorrow. That'll be the first game. They Michigan versus St. Louis. The winner of that plays Texas Tech or Alabama. Uh, that'll be Sunday. The Tennessee Virginia game Sunday. They will host the winners of Kentucky versus Iowa State. So we are now down to 32. But a lot like that VCU win, nobody. I didn't really see that coming. Who won the Utah State game? Look, High Point. That was a shocker. They played Arkansas, and the winner of that played the winner of Arizona versus Utah State. So when you see these high numbers like the 12 seed, the 11 seeds, a lot of people didn't give those guys, so like the Texas versus Gonzaga. Texas played the play in game. They've been playing since Tuesday. They played Tuesday, they played Thursday, and they playing tomorrow. So they've been playing all week. So they momentum might will that get them up but when you see those high number teams, that means a lot of people didn't give them a shot. You know what I mean? The 12 seed, the 11 seed, a 10. We got a 10 seed. What was the 10 seed that got up there? The 9 seed we see up there, 10 seed, right? So you got those guys that they playing, and you know that nobody gave them a shot. But that's why this game for the the regular person, because so you know, all right, well, people don't believe in me, all right, cool, whatever. It's just a thing like that. So and we also know that the women started their tournament today, so they got half of a bracket. Tomorrow they will be in the round of, they will finish off their first round, and then there will be 32 teams left over there. So by the weekend, we will see. By Sunday, we'll see the Sweet 16 teams be solidified, because now we're at 32, and then we'll have 8 games. 8 games tomorrow, 8 games Sunday, or 8 games today, 8 games Sunday, and that'll break it down to the Sweet 16, and they'll play that next week, Thursday and Friday. Starting Thursday rather. They probably play like 2 games, 2 games, 2 games, things like that. But but this is why I don't know if everybody saw the clip that I played with the last second shot to get Kentucky into overtime. But that, I'm telling y'all, that's why people love this tournament. And then when you hear the teams, the teams that get followed, like the not only just the Kentuckys and the Michigans, but those teams that nobody's cheering, like that you didn't think was gonna win, the VCUs. Today we was listening to Furman as they played Connecticut. Um, they was cheering hard for they was cheering hard for Furman. Those people travel, those teams travel. Like, yo, they may not get that experience. So those families travel, those schools travel, those classmates travel. And that's the thing, that that's an experience that a lot of people wish they can get, but these kids are getting it because they're in this tournament. So it's a thing. You know what I mean? It's really really a thing. So that's why it's exciting. Like, it may not be, the women's brand may not be as exciting, because the dominance of certain teams like a Connecticut, like a South Carolina, uh UCLA, and oh, shout out to Olivia, what's her name, Olivia Miles, for TCU. She's the only woman that got a triple double in the NCAA for 2 different teams, and that's rare for a woman to get triple double like that. So congratulations to her. I saw that. I watched that game this afternoon slash evening. But when you got juggernauts like that on the women's side, you don't really expect upsets. But on the men's side, you're gonna see some upsets. You're gonna see things that you didn't think was possible. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought that North Carolina would have lost a 19-point lead to VCU and then lose in totality? Now they're out the tournament. You know what I mean? I think they may be calling for Hubert Davis' job down in North Carolina. So, you know, but that's the way this game is. That's the way this tournament do, man. This tournament will shake people up, shake things up. Like I said, you'll probably see maybe VCU go on a nice little Sweet 16 run. You don't know, and that's the beauty of this game, because it allows you to see, all right, y'all think the regular name people who's going to do it. You put them as 3 seeds, 4 seeds, and then you see 11 seed go to the Sweet 16, the final, the Elite Eight. They don't, you're thinking that because their names is famous, or it's not famous, but those are the well known names. So you might turn around and see somebody like a Utah State get to the Elite Eight, or something like that. High Point get to the Sweet 16. You don't know, but that's why you watch the game. You watch the games because the excitement of it. The expectations may not be what you think it is, and you'll be shocked, and you'll be amazed. Like, damn, they really didn't win. So that's why this game is that's why this tournament is one of the best tournaments ever on television. So stay tuned, watch that. I'll keep you updated with scores and stuff like that, as far as the brackets and things like that. And like I said, I'll keep you updated with the men and the women. Like I said, the women now is they're halfway to 32. They had 16 games today. They'll have 16 more tomorrow to get to the Sweet 16. Uh, I mean the field of 32, and then break that down by Monday to the Sweet 16, and we'll go from there. Um, you know, but that's the gist of the show today. We got to speak about the women's NCAA. We just saw the men's NCAA. Let's see if they get the women's NCAA bracket. Just just for kicks. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Now see WNBA. No, I don't want WNBA. Uh, y'all bear with me. Let's see if we can get the women's side for the ladies. For the ladies. Let's see. NCAA bracket. I see NCAA bracket. I don't see the women. There it go. I got you, girls. I got you. I got you. Let's see what's going on with the brackets on the girls' side. But it's only going to be halfway done. That's why I didn't really want to do it. You see, Maryland won today. North Carolina won today. Michigan State, Oklahoma, Washington, TCU. TCU was with Olivia Miles. I was just telling y'all about. Uh, Michigan won today. North Carolina State won today. Texas and Oregon won today. So, like I said, it's and then you see tomorrow's games. You see South Carolina, they play the 16th seed. Clemson play USC tomorrow. Uh, on this side, we got Kentucky playing James Madison. Miami, Ohio is playing West Virginia. Alabama versus Rhode Island. Louisville versus Vermont. You got Georgia playing Virginia on the women's side. Iowa playing Fairleigh Dickinson. So those are the games tomorrow, and then this entire bracket will be the field of 32, and then they'll play Sunday and Monday respectfully. So that's why I said I didn't really want to look at that, but at the same time, oh, I didn't even show y'all. I was tripping. So just for y'all to see, this is the women's bracket. Uh, like I said, it's halfway done. And the rest of those games, the games tomorrow will fill out the round two bracket, and that'll go on. Uh, they'll play those games Sunday and Monday. So that's just you know what I mean. That's just the way that goes. The women do play a little later than the men, so it's gonna be different. But the men now are at the field of 32, and by Sunday it'll be the Sweet 16. We will have 16 teams remaining heading into next weekend. Well, excuse me, next Thursday, because they'll play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to get to the Elite Eight. So but all the scores and highlights were brought to you tonight by the realest one in the building, who always tell you to always act accordingly, and by the 9%, where a better you is a better us. Appreciate you guys coming through, sponsoring the show. Shout out to them. Shout out to the 9%. Shout out to the realest one in the building. And of course, shout out to everybody that came through tonight. My co-host, my 33 brother, was in the building. Realist, my day one, was in the building. Shout out to what was the kid name? Special orthodontist, special ortho doctor. We go up here. Dallas Ortho Spine. That was his name. Shout out to him stopping by. Ezekiel Rodriguez, appreciate you. Ferramoto, appreciate you stopping by. Y'all was here earlier. I don't know if y'all was still in the building, but I appreciate y'all stopping by. We will be back Sunday night. As y'all know, Sunday night is about the NBA. A recap of Sunday night basketball, where we do the standings, stats of the night, and we do the standings for the playoffs Sunday. And by the Sunday, we will be about 3 weeks away from the playoffs and play-ins, and then we'll talk about. Well, it should be around that time. The Sweet 16 will be solidified, and the round of 32 for the women will be solidified. Plus, if I do have the information, we will preview the card for Monday Night Raw, which will be on Monday night. So, in the meantime, in between time, like I said, I appreciate everybody coming through. So from the Channel 9 studio, this is Mr. 33 signing off. See you guys Sunday.